What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we're gonna be talking about a laptop that I have been pretty hyped for. We've got it over here. This is the MSI GE66 Raider. Now, I was actually this close to buying this laptop, but MSI hit me up and wanted to sponsor a video about this laptop, and of course, I thought their timing was perfect. So I'm gonna let you guys know everything you need to know about this thing and why I think it's so cool. Let's check it out. Now, if you follow the channel closely, you might remember that in a lot of my gadget backpack videos that I tend to carry around MSI laptops. They're like my preferred gaming laptop brand. I've carried around the MSI GS65 Stealth, the 75 Stealth, and now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, it looks like I might be taking this guy around with me, the GE66 Raider. But let's talk about why I like this laptop, like why it's kind of cool. I like the design, first of all. It's got a pretty nice chassis. It's not like metal or anything, although it kind of has that look to it. It's a plastic body, but overall it feels and looks pretty solid. This one, I'm not gonna lie, does kind of look a bit on the gamery side. You guys can see like with these sharp edges, the big RGB light in the front. I know you didn't miss that. It screams a bit gamer, but I'm okay with that. I actually love this thing. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. But the overall aesthetic for it, I actually really like. It's got like this nice steel finish to it. I think it looks really clean, even though it is on the gamery side. It's not quite as thin as something like the GS75 Stealth, but with the kind of power that this thing is packing, you'll make the slight sacrifice. But this thing absolutely does look clean. I think it looks really good. But what I like is some of the attention to detail that there is with the design and the placement of ports. So on the left side, we've got a USB Type A port, a USB-C port, and of course your headphone jack. On the right side, we're looking at two more USB-A ports and an SD card reader in the middle. But what's nice about this one, and it's not the only laptop to do this, but it also has ports in the back. And back here, we've got a mini display port, a USB Type-C, Ethernet, HDMI, and the power plug. Almost tripped me up there. But having these ports in the back is really nice if you want to have this thing like set up stationary somewhere on a desk. You could just plug it into like your monitor, that kind of thing. It works really well to hide the cable. So this is always a welcome addition to have the ports in the back. Just kind of keep your desk and everything looking clean. But what I love about this thing in terms of I/O, we've got so many ports. Not something you see on laptops these days. There's always like a port or two missing. This one has a ton, and I'm really happy about that. And when you open this thing up, you're greeted with a 1080p 15-inch panel. Now, what's amazing about this display is that it goes up to 300 hertz refresh rate, guys. That's gonna be amazing for gaming. This is a gaming laptop. 300 hertz? That's fast, you guys. But for those of you out there who aren't like laptop enthusiasts, you don't really know how that's going to impact you in terms of like your gameplay, it's just gonna make everything look a lot smoother, a lot cleaner, a lot more fluid. It's just an overall much nicer experience than the typical 60 hertz that you see. The whole high refresh rate thing might be gaining popularity into the mainstream because lots of phones are getting that feature these days, but it's always been a big deal when it came to desktop monitors, and of course having it on the laptop now at 300 hertz. I'll show you guys what that's all about, trust me. It's dope. So this is absolutely a very big deal on the laptop, but under that you also have an RGB keyboard. This of course is backed by the SteelSeries software. It has RGB lights so you can customize the look to it, and typing on it is actually a really nice experience. I enjoy typing on this keyboard. Now this is a 15-inch laptop, so it doesn't have like the extra keypad on the side or number pad on the side, so pretty standard keyboard. There's a lot of space, nice travel, feels good to type on, so I enjoy this keyboard a lot. You also have this trackpad in the middle, which isn't MSI's largest trackpad, but it works really well. I find it very comfortable. And yes, I know you guys are probably judging me because I still have the stickers on my laptop, but keep on judging, you guys. I like having the stickers. Now we talked about how you can customize this RGB keyboard, but there's also this RGB light in the front, which I think looks absolutely amazing. I love this little bar. I think it looks really good. MSI calls it their MSI Aurora. You can customize the lights that come out of here. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, I got that teal and blue going back and forth. You can control both the keyboard and it through the SteelSeries software. If you pop that open, you can see them both listed right there. And you can go ahead and change the configurations to do all kinds of cool stuff. Like, let's check this out. See, that's one, blue flash. There's a disco one, isn't there? Let's see what that's like. Yeah, for all you wild folk out there, you got the disco. But yeah, I think this thing is dope. It adds a nice bit of flair to a laptop that, for the most part, has a pretty, pretty clean look. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I absolutely love this thing. I'm a bit of an RGB loving freak, so it works for me. But beyond the presets, you can of course go into the SteelSeries software and make all kinds of customizations. You can go ahead and change a lot of different stuff with it. It takes some time, I'm not gonna lie. It takes some time to kind of get used to all the different controls and just how to fine tune it to work and look the exact way that you want. But if you just give it like a few minutes, you figure it out, and I think it's worthwhile. Now, we talked a lot about the design and the overall physical aspects of this laptop, but let's talk about what's inside of it and what's powering it. So of course, this thing is powered by Intel's 10th generation Core i9 processor, which has 8 cores, so lots of power there, as well as the RTX 2080 Super Max-Q graphics card. So you know this thing is going to be able to really push games and get the best quality graphics out of them, as well as, take advantage of that 300 hertz. And my personal configuration has 32 gigs of RAM, as well as a 1 terabyte SSD. Not to mention, this thing also has a 99.9 watt-hour battery, so pretty much the max that you'll be able to take on a plane. So when it comes to specs, this thing has pretty much everything that you want. When it comes to gaming, you guys are gonna see it can handle pretty much everything on high settings. And the fact that it has a really good display, this thing is really color accurate. So if you wanna use this thing for photo editing, maybe some video editing, you're gonna be able to take advantage of the horsepower and the color accurate display to kind of do that kind of stuff as well. But let me not just talk about it. Let me show you guys what this thing is capable of. I'm gonna plug it in, show you guys some real gaming. So of course, we're gonna throw up some Apex Legends. It just went into game mode, as you guys saw. And yes, I'm gonna be using a controller because I'm not quite there yet with the whole mouse and keyboard bit. So don't judge me, even though I know most of you guys are gonna judge me, but it's okay. We're gonna use the controller. I'm gonna show you guys what this thing is capable of. Now, you might hear those fans have kicked up now because it's in its extreme performance mode. So once it's in this mode, you're getting the best optimal settings so that you can game with the best experience. So you'll hear that, but it's usually not really a big deal if you got something like a gaming headset on. It's not loud enough to bother me. So, all right, let me just show you guys what I could do here. When you're playing a game, that refresh rate really comes into play. Because like I said, it makes everything so much smoother. Now, I play a lot on like the Xbox, and it does not look like this, trust me. My TV can't go up in terms of the refresh rate as high as this can. So whenever I'm playing on this laptop, I see a huge difference pretty immediately. Now, of course, we're playing this thing while I'm at home, but what's different about this laptop versus current gaming consoles out right now is that I can take this thing pretty much anywhere with me and get an awesome experience. Now, what's amazing about this, guys, is that I am currently playing on the max settings on this laptop. So the max settings of Apex Legends, and as you guys can see, no stutters, it's completely smooth. You see how fast the movement is? Moving around, doing all this, and nothing. This thing is not budging in terms of the performance. Everything looks great. Yeah, what's up? Haha. Oh, enemies. I got too confident there. All right, give me up, buddy. Nice, there we go. They saw that snipe. Time for the last group. Yes, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Let's go. Let's get that. What was that, Jay? The second round that we played?
Yeah, the second round.
Yeah, a little something light for you guys. The GE66 Raider making me a beast. Now I couldn't do this with. I didn't even do that much damage. Now we ain't gotta show that, Jay. But I got the winning kill though. And I'm not gonna chalk that win up to the laptop. I'm gonna put that on my skills. But like I said, it is a super smooth experience when playing a game like Apex that has a lot going on the screen. And honestly, playing games outside of Apex also look really good. And you guys can see even a game like The Witcher, which is a little bit on the older side, still looks really clean on this display. You can push this thing to the max. You guys saw I threw this thing on ultra settings. Looks good. So now we're in Battlefield, and this game completely supports being 1080p with the 300 hertz refresh rate. So with that, we're gonna check out this goodness. And like 300 hertz is not something anybody is used to seeing, especially not from a console. And we probably won't even see that with the next generation of consoles. So being able to have access to that right now in a portable form factor is kind of dope. I like it. Battlefield looks really good. I'm not even that good at this game, though, I'm not even gonna lie. I can actually change it right now, go into the video settings and change it to like 60 frames. Huge difference. This feels like kind of what I'm used to. Having it at 300 hertz, it's honestly a big deal, guys. We all know this. If you're into PCs and all that, you know how big a deal it is to have it play at 300 hertz. Dang, Jay, you got me killed. So clearly you're gonna get a great gaming experience, but what's nice is that even when you aren't gaming, you saw that we were on that extreme performance mode so that we can get the best quality out of the games. MSI has their Dragon Center, which allows you to change the different modes that you're in. If you're not trying to hear any fans while you're just doing casual browsing, you don't wanna be interrupted or anything, you can always throw it on silent mode. You got super battery, balanced, and of course that extreme performance. And if you wanna fine tune it, there's also the user customizable mode. So you have options galore. Now, when you are picking between the different user scenarios, so whether you're doing extreme performance for gaming or, you know, all the different things, battery life definitely comes into play. There is a super battery mode here. So if you're just trying to get this thing to work for you as long as possible, you can always turn that on. For me, I've gotten around 5 to 6 hours of battery life just for like regular casual usage. When you're gaming, battery life, honestly, you're gonna want this thing to be plugged in. If you're gaming with the high specs on and everything, plug the thing in. We all know this for gaming laptops. But the battery life is solid though. And of course, beyond changing the performance, you can go ahead and change the color of the display. So if you're just trying to play games, you wanna have it look good, you can stay on that mode. You can change it to sRGB to do things like photo editing. There's movie modes, there's gamer modes, there's anti-blue if it's late at night and you don't want that blue light hitting you. So you get a ton of options in terms of like customization and performance. You get to keep an eye on all the stats and make sure your computer isn't getting too hot. There's a lot you can do in the Dragon Center. And the software is pretty straightforward, so you don't need to have like a ton of experience or need to figure out how to use it in order to get the most out of it. Like I said, straightforward, straight to the point. You can fine tune this to how you want it without a problem. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the other things. The speakers, pretty decent. Watching a movie on here or watching YouTube videos, you're gonna be just fine. It sounds pretty good. I wouldn't use it for gaming, but like how many people would use their laptop speakers for gaming? Usually you'll want a headset of some sort to get the best experience. Even with this laptop, I still stand by that. But overall for watching stuff, content consumptions, speakers do a pretty decent job. You also get a 1080p webcam, so you can see yourself and, you know, handle those Zoom calls, do all that kind of stuff. You can see Jay there. You know, it works just as you'd expect. I do wish that it had IR so that you can do like a face unlock kind of thing with Windows Hello, but you won't find that on this model. But overall, guys, this thing is a pretty sweet package. Of course, you are paying for a really high-end laptop. And MSI has done it again. You know, they're a brand that I personally like. You guys have seen me in non-sponsored videos always carrying around their laptops, and it's for good reason. So definitely like this one. This is going to replace my GS75 Stealth. Keeping all the model numbers in your head is crazy. But this is gonna replace that for me. You guys will probably see this in multiple backpack videos in the future. I really like this thing, and I'm glad I got my hands on it. So it's definitely worth looking into if you're looking for like a high-end gaming laptop. Now, MSI does offer a ton of different configurations, so there are lots of options to choose from. You don't have to get like a super spec'd out version like this guy over here. I actually think that their 2070 model is probably the best bang for your buck if you're not trying to spend like $3 grand on something like this. The 2070 model I'll have it all linked down below in the description so you guys can check it out. But the GE66 Raider definitely gets my sign of approval. Awesome laptop, and I'm so glad MSI wanted to sponsor this video and let me get my hands on it. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of this laptop with a comment down below. But till the next one, guys, this is your average consumer. Peace. I just love the lights. That's where it's all at. The lights.